Hi everyone, I'm really glad you're here. If you're trying to improve your English, especially your listening and reading skills, you're in the right place. In this series, we'll learn English together through something that's fun, interesting, and meaningful, history from around the world. Each video, I'll share a story from a different country, maybe a famous event, a legend, or something surprising from the past. I'll read it out loud slowly and clearly so you can listen and read at the same time. This will help you understand new words, hear how English sounds in real conversation, and build your confidence step by step. You don't need to study with a big textbook or memorize boring grammar rules. Just relax, listen to the story, and follow along. And don't worry, I'll explain any new words as we go. So, let's enjoy learning English through the amazing stories of our world, one video at a time. Are you ready? Let's begin. Japan is an island country in East Asia, surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. It is made up of over 6,800 islands, but most people live on just 4 main ones: Honshu, Hokkaido, Kyushu, and Shikoku. Today, Japan is known for its mix of old and new, ancient temples and high-speed trains, samurai stories and video games, tea ceremonies and robot cafes. Its capital, Tokyo, is one of the largest and most modern cities in the world. Japan has about 125 million people, and almost all speak Japanese. But the culture is full of deep history, quiet beauty, and strong values like respect, patience, and hard work. In this lesson, we will explore the story of Japan in short 5 chapters. Chapter 1: Early Japan and the Rise of the Emperors. Chapter 2: The Age of the Samurai. Chapter 3: Isolation and the Arrival of the West. Chapter 4: War, Defeat, and Rebuilding. Chapter 5: Modern Japan, Technology, Tradition, and Change. Let's begin the journey. Chapter 1: Early Japan and the Rise of the Emperors. Thousands of years ago, small groups of people lived on the islands of Japan. They fished, farmed, and made tools from stone. Around 300 BCE, a new culture called Yayoi began to grow. They brought rice farming, metal tools, and new ways of living. Over time, local leaders became stronger. One group, the Yamato clan, grew powerful and began to rule many parts of Japan. Around the 5th century, they became the imperial family, a royal line that continues today. Japan was influenced by nearby China and Korea. It adopted Chinese writing, Buddhism, and ideas about government. In the 700s, the city of Nara became Japan's first capital. Later, the capital moved to Kyoto. The emperor was seen as a connection between the people and the gods. Beautiful temples were built, poetry, painting, and calligraphy became important. Japan was creating its own unique culture, full of grace and style. But soon, real power would move away from the emperor and into the hands of warriors. Chapter 2: The Age of the Samurai. By the 1100s, Japan was changing. The emperor still ruled in name, but the real control belonged to powerful families and military leaders. These leaders created a new system called shogunate, a kind of military government. The most famous warriors in this time were the samurai. They followed a strict code called Bushido, or the way of the warrior. It taught loyalty, bravery, and honor, even in death. The samurai carried 2 swords and wore armor made of metal and silk. For hundreds of years, Japan was ruled by different shogun families. There were many wars between clans. One of the most famous was the time of Oda Nobunaga, Toyotomi Hideyoshi, and Tokugawa Ieyasu. 3 powerful men who worked to bring peace and unity. In 1603, Tokugawa Ieyasu became shogun. He started the Tokugawa shogunate, which would last for over 250 years. During this time, Japan became very stable, but also very closed to the outside world. Chapter 3: Isolation and the Arrival of the West. During the Tokugawa period, Japan closed its doors to most of the world. Foreign travel was banned. Only a few Dutch and Chinese traders were allowed into one port, Nagasaki. Inside the country, people lived under strict rules. Society had clear classes: samurai, farmers, workers, and merchants. Art and culture grew. Kabuki theater, haiku poetry, and beautiful woodblock prints became popular. But by the 1800s, the world was changing. Western countries wanted trade with Japan. In 1853, American ships, led by Commodore Perry, arrived in Japan. They had steam engines and big guns. The Japanese were shocked. A year later, Japan signed a treaty to open its ports. This began a time of big change. The Tokugawa government fell. In 1868, power returned to the emperor, and the Meiji Restoration began. Chapter 4: War, Defeat, and Rebuilding. The Meiji era brought fast modernization. Japan built factories, trains, and a modern army. The country learned from the West, but kept its own traditions. In just a few decades, Japan became a world power. In the early 1900s, Japan fought wars against China, Russia, and later joined World War I on the side of the Allies. It gained land and respect. But in the 1930s, Japan became more aggressive. It invaded parts of China and joined Germany and Italy in World War II. In 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor, bringing the United States into the war. The war was long and terrible. Cities were bombed. Many lives were lost. In 1945, the U.S. dropped 2 atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan surrendered. The war was over. After the war, Japan was occupied by the US and began to rebuild. A new constitution was written. The emperor lost political power but remained a symbol. The country promised peace. Chapter 5: Modern Japan, Technology, Tradition, and Change. In the years after World War II, Japan worked hard. It became one of the world's strongest economies. It built cars, electronics, and high-speed trains. Companies like Toyota, Sony, and Nintendo became global names. Japan also became known for its culture. Anime, manga, video games, and J-pop music won fans around the world. Young people in many countries watched Japanese shows, read Japanese comics, and played Japanese games. At the same time, Japan kept many traditions like tea ceremonies, cherry blossom festivals, and sumo wrestling. People still visit temples and wear traditional clothes during special events. Today, Japan faces new challenges. The population is getting older. Young people are having fewer children. Rural areas are shrinking. But Japan continues to adapt, using robots and technology in creative ways. Japan is a land of balance between old and new, nature and city, silence and sound. Its people value respect, harmony, and beauty in everyday life. Japan's story is full of change and quiet strength. From ancient rice fields to high-speed trains, from the sword of the samurai to the circuits of a robot, from the pain of war to the peace of cherry blossoms, Japan remembers. Japan creates. It teaches us that tradition and progress can walk together. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Japan. Keep listening, keep learning. And remember, every country has a soul, and every soul has a story.